But I know you one of the few channels that actually champions and shows how much work our Black dads are doing, especially after this terrible Democratic season that we just went through, where there was felt like a plot, and that's my party, this, but a damn near a plot to get rid of that type of masculinity. So hey, if you can step up, take a few shots, and your kids can eat off of it, people do way worse, way less to not have as much of an impact. So respectfully to the other fellas, but I get everybody's point.
That's a great point. So I'm going to pass the ball back to Dr. Rogers. I know you've been very patiently waiting, and you can go in any direction that comes to mind. But I want to specifically ask you, as a person who is an expert on health, particularly Black men's health, I was concerned with that comment. That comment Mike made about how he and the other guy had sex with the same girl, and they both died of AIDS, but he didn't. And here's the problem I have with that. If I was to be honest, I know athletes that feel like it's okay to live like. I know regular guys who live like that too. But there's something there might be there in terms of athlete culture that is just dangerous. Just dangerous in terms of there's something, and I don't know if it's if maybe we're pressured by culture to behave this way. Maybe it's because you think about it. Tyson and Tupac were very good friends. Pac is no longer here. Right. And I think culture just kind of comes into it. And as you're a person who talked to me specifically about how many Black men are dying of colon cancer. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, like, just even about that, it just seems like the death of Black men or us being in spaces where we might die is just way too prevalent. And I'm wondering how we can address that without kind of, whenever I talk about it, people just say, oh, you just be hating. You just be hating. And I'm like, no, this is love. I love you and I want us to live. But it seems like sometimes we are just trained to die and do things that are going to lead to an early death. So, Dr. Rogers, can you kind of speak on some of that?
Man, that's so good, so loaded. I'm gonna see what I can do, man. So several things. So let's try to work backwards with some of the comments you made. So with the train to die, I think that's more of a word trained to survive. And so what I mean by that, like giving some background on myself, just like Dr. Cole did. Like I'm from rural North Carolina, where to make good money, you either hustle or you worked in a factory. Yeah. And so, like me being the different person who went out and got all this education, that was not normal. And I had to do a whole lot of stuff to make sure that I still survive so I can even get to the stage that I am. And so we fast forward to now, a lot of Black dudes are just trying to survive. Whether that means doing what they have to do to make money so they can provide for their household, whether it's safe or not safe. And so I'll leave that piece there. With some of the earlier comments that you were mentioning, I think a lot of it has to do with like how the world defines what tough is. So most people more likely see tough as the piece that you mentioned in terms of like really focus on you'll do whatever to until you die, whether it be for your household or elsewhere, versus there's this other cadre of people who are really focused on you being your best self as you setting this new standard. And so I think that's sort of the theme that's coming along here with the fellas too, in terms of in my opinion, and me being a father myself, in my opinion, in terms of what masculinity looks like, is my son being okay, comfortable crying with me as much as he needs to, because I'd rather him cry for me because the world does not give a nothing about him. And so to make sure that he feels safe at home and come to me whatever he needs to, that's what's most important to me. And so now I'm talking with my son, so I done locked out. So I'll pause right there and let you probe me so I can get some more out.
Okay. Well, you know what, Dr. Cole, I'm sorry, Dr. Rogers, my apologies.